Well, Doc and the Clippers gave it everything that they had. They held in it as long as they did. And as Clay said, I think profoundly after the game, it's a lot of options. How about 55 points from Clay and Durant, 9 threes combined? Steph didn't have to do that much. Warriors now 1 game away from putting themselves in that next round, perhaps in a rematch against the Houston Rockets. Casey Stern, Coach Thibodeau is with us. We've also got Smitty and Tough Juice. Bringing back whenever you can't, UConn, unless you're trying to beat the Warriors, in which you can't.
You cannot.
You just cannot. And especially when, Coach, you, as somebody who understands defense as much as anybody, you can do whatever you can do with your personnel, but they just always have that one other option you can't cover, and it was Clay, 27 points in the first half of his 33 scored in a game.
Yeah, and the thing about the Warriors, it's the championship experience. They've seen every type of defense. They know how to defend every offense. But the movement without the ball, when the ball goes into the post, they're never going to stop moving. And this is where Draymond is so effective. You can see Clay setting his man up all the way on that. It's the same thing here. It's the movement without the ball. As they move and when they hit Draymond has point guard skills, great vision, great decision making. These are wide open shots, good extra pass, corner three, and that's what makes their offense so hard to guard. Same thing here. You see the penetration, and then it's the relocation. And you see Clay there sprinting out to the corner, another wide open. They relocate probably as well as any team in the league, and they're all unselfish. But they're never going to stop moving once that ball goes into the paint.
Yeah, and we saw defensively they really have clamped down when they've needed to on Lou Williams. And, I mean, that was a major factor. I mean, Lou was frustrated in this game, only 2 for 10. But they made a point, Smitty, to say they weren't going to allow what happened in that second half. They've given respect. They know how tough he is. But they made it really hard for him to even get the ball in a possession. And without him scoring in bunches, bench or not, the Clippers aren't going to be able to find a way to cut that gap against them.
Yeah, it is hard. And give Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the young rookie, had 25 points. And if they could have got a big night from Lou and also a big night from Montrezl Harrell, this might be a different ball game. But just 22 points between Lou Williams and also Montrezl Harrell. Concerted effort to make it tough on Lou Williams. And Lou just had one of those nights. 12 is not a bad night, but they need more. They need Lou to have 20, 25. They need Montrez. They need everybody. They're just outmanned, but I love the way Doc had these guys competing to the end.
You know, the other thing that we saw was in big possessions, and this always gets forgotten, those extra second chance points, those tip outs, those opportunities that with Bogut back, we've seen him do before, but he and Draymond underneath, the unselfishness. They play team basketball more than just having alone the talent, and that was really what we saw again come to the forefront tonight, Karan.
Yeah, I think Coach touched on it, extremely well when you just talk about the squad being battle tested. They know the pulse of the game, they know the moments, and when you have to make big shots and have the big moments in the game, and how deflating those moments can be. You see Kevin Durant hit the 2 jumpers, and it kills the momentum of the Clippers, and then he's looking at the crowd, and it's just like, how do we get over that hurdle? And they cannot get over that moment. So, it started trending in their direction in that fourth quarter, and they was able to capitalize and get a quality win on the road.
The other thing, Coach, is, and you can speak to it, it's not that easy to score. And they make it look so easy that you watch teams like the Clippers guys who fight so hard in a possession, or let's say in a beginning of a quarter where Doc is on them, hey, let's come out strong. They go out 8-2 run. All of a sudden, in 30 seconds, 2 threes from Steph, and you were even. How demoralizing is it the way they score?
It crushes you. And the way they move the ball and they get a wide open shot, and then the way they offensive rebound. But when they offensive rebound, they kick out for those dagger threes, and that breaks your back. You defend for 20 seconds well, and then you give up a wide open three. But I think the other thing you can't lose sight of is the way Andre Iguodala defended. He put a lot of pressure on Lou Williams at all times. And he made them work, and that's what their understanding of the things they have to do is what makes them so special.
Well, they certainly have rebounded after blowing what was the biggest lead that we've seen a comeback stem from in the history of the playoffs. Steve Kerr, I'm sure a bit happier with the performance that he saw here, putting them up 3-1 in the series.
In contrast, how Kevin and Clay carried you guys through different stretches of the game.
Well, they both had big nights shooting the ball, and I thought both were very engaged defensively as well. So both of them were fantastic.
Your second row? No? You're scratching, okay.
Farbo Nashari, Clips Nation. Can you talk about what you saw from the youth of the Clippers and just their future?
I thought the Clippers were fantastic today. Their effort and their energy, they were attacking us all over the floor defensively. I didn't think we fully engaged in the game till they kind of took it to us in that third quarter, took the lead. And once that happened, I thought that's when our guys engaged. We started taking care of the ball and defending at a higher level. But I love their team. They're a young group that fights and scraps and plays together, plays hard. And, I just told our guys in there, that's what we're going to see Wednesday, too. So can't be any let-ups because this group is connected and young and energetic and playing hard and well-coached. And so we've got to make sure we continue to lock in.
Coach Kerr right here. TPJF Hoops and Brews. Steph started out 0-6 from the field and 1-5 from 3. When he gets a rough start like that, is it more so about trying to get him going early or just letting everybody continue to play within the flow of the offense?
No, you just keep playing and you trust that he's going to impact the game because he's such a great player, whether his shots are going in or not. And but yeah, tough day for Steph. But this is the way the game goes. Guys sometimes have a huge night, sometimes they struggle. But the great players like Steph, Kevin, Clay, they bounce back pretty quickly from tough shooting nights. So that's what I would expect on Wednesday.
How important was that mini stretch at the start of the fourth where you got Durant and Curry on the bench? I think you guys bumped the lead up a little bit. And how important will that pocket of the game be during these playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we're mixing and matching a little bit, and we had to change our rotation because of Steph's early foul trouble. But the third quarter, we were able to keep a pretty regular rotation out there. And as I said, I thought the last part of the third and the early fourth were really important moments for us in the game. So, the guys who came in to start that fourth did an excellent job executing. We got some good buckets and some stops and kept the game going for us.
Wes Goldberg with the step back, Coach. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's compared by some people to Sean Livingston or even Andre Iguodala. What did you see from him tonight, and do you think those comparisons are appropriate?
He's a really good young player. For a rookie to come in and attack with confidence the way he did, that shows you what he's about. So I thought he was great. He really hurt us, especially in that first half. And I thought we did a better job on him in the second half. But he's got a great future.
Coach Ryan Gorsey, San Francisco Examiner. How big was Alfonso McKinney there in that little stretch there in the fourth quarter where he tipped that offensive rebound out to Steph and then got his tip in, I think, off a clay miss?
Yeah, Zoe has been great, these first 4 games of the playoffs. He has the athleticism to not only hang in an NBA playoff game, but even to stand out in a playoff game. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He's good defensively. He's smart. And I thought he gave us huge minutes tonight.
Steve, Nick Friedel, ESPN, right? You mentioned Steph's foul trouble. Why do you think that's been a problem for him these last couple of games?
He just hasn't been focused. I don't know if you saw his shoes. You see his shoes? One shoe said no, and the other shoe said reach. So he didn't reach as much tonight, so that was good. But Steph sometimes loses focus. I mean, it's. He's such a fascinating player because, the same thing that makes him, not hesitate to shoot a fadeaway 30-footer maybe is the same thing that gets him in foul trouble. He doesn't overthink much, and so he's just gotten into a habit lately of reaching and instead of, showing his hands and trusting the help behind him. And did a better job in the second half. I don't think he picked up a foul. Maybe he did late. I don't know, but he'll be fine. I mean, he's just in a little bit of a rut right now with that stuff. But second half was a good spell for him where he was disciplined and stayed in the game.
Kyle Goon, Orange County Register. Steve, obviously, Gallinari has had some tough shooting against you guys. How do you kind of attribute the credit for what you guys have been able to do defensively on him this series?
Well, the playoffs are, they're a different deal for everybody. You're so much more locked in defensively. You can see what the Clippers are trying to take away with our three-point shooting, and that's what we're trying to do to them too. We're trying to take away, guys coming off screens, and we know what a huge factor and key Gallinari is for them. So we're doing our best to try to pressure him, stay in front of him, and challenge every shot, because when he has big games, the Clippers generally win, and so he's a real key for them.
Hey, Steve, a follow on the note about Alfonso. Going into the playoffs, what were you expecting he could give you, just knowing this is his first go-around, and what have you seen so far
This is exactly what I expected. The thing I love about Zoe is he's fearless. He's never shied away from a shot. He has scrapped and clawed to get to this point in his career. He's played everywhere overseas and G League, and so he's making the most of his moment. And this is not surprising to me from a guy who's had to fight his way into a job. And I thought he really helped us tonight.
Coach Chris with the Fantasy Sports Cave. Can you talk about what you saw from Clay in the first half and what it means when he has a first half like that, what it does for your offense along with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry?
Well, when Clay gets going like that, it fuels the whole bench. You can see everybody jumping around. Everybody gets happy. We all love when Clay gets hot. It's it fuels our momentum, and it didn't surprise me at all. He kind of had a quiet first few games of the series, so it's only a matter of time till he broke out. Thanks.
All right, so Steve Kerr and the Warriors now one win away from that next round. Lou Will and company, they are never going to give in. They're going to fight, but Clay was taking the fight to everybody. 17 points in the early going, made his first 7 from the floor, Smitty. That's good, right?
It just seems like, I love him as a player. It just seems like he comes with these huge games at the right moment. Big moment when Steph is not shooting this particularly well. In one of these games where it's a game that you don't want to be 2-2, Clay comes up with big games.
Now, you're talking about Lou in bunches. We know Clay could do it, but Montrez not going anywhere. 11-0 run, capped by Jerome Robinson. Karan going the other way.
Excellent job getting that deflection. Robinson going the distance, finishing strong for one.
Until this. Coach, you've seen that, right? You fight hard, you get back in it, and then
that's what makes him so hard to guard. I think the playmaking of Draymond and then the unselfishness of Kevin, wide open shots.
27 at the half for Clay. Lou Will creates space, hits the fade, but then again, right back.
Whenever you're shooting by letters, that's deep.
Shot that from P1.
Half one, lead was 8. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander keeping him in it. Smitty, I know you and I have liked him really since draft day. Doc has been high on this. Could be a real good player, 25.
Knows how to play.
And not afraid.
Not at all. Good feel for the game. Great size at that point guard position.
9 of 15 from the floor. Ball movement. Nice extra feed there from Gallo. Inside, Harrell. They're feeling good. Clippers up 5. And then again, when you feel good, this happens. He missed his first 7 threes. Steph hit just 3 from the floor. He had 12 points. Warriors, though, still working.
Great play by Bogut. Great cut by Andre.
Clay, no dribbles needed. Had 32, 6 of 9 from 3. Lead was 8.
That was
inside.
Not a
Durant.
Flip the split there.
How about Steph?
Up high.
Man. And then KD finishing touches. 33.7 boards, 66. Good night. The Clippers gave it everything they had. Effort never an issue, and I'm sure they'll get that on the road as well, despite the fact that Clay said after the game, we owe one to the folks at Oracle, so that first quarter may be interesting to watch out of the gates for the Warriors after what they did to those fans blowing that 31-point lead. We know what Doc's done for this team. Tough loss for his boys. Here is Doc Rivers after the game.
Doc, what effect do you think the change of starting lineup had on your team, and did it help, hurt?
Yeah, well, it clearly helped. It was 20-20, at the end of the first or towards the middle of the first. I thought defensively, just overall, not just the lineup, just us. I thought we were better defensively tonight. What are they were averaging, 130, shooting 54%. Today they shot 47% from the field, 113. So I liked a lot of the things we did. Again, and I've been saying this, it feels like, over and over, and give them credit. I thought that offensively, again, we just wasn't very good. I think we didn't score on 2 4-on-1s, 1 3-on-1, and 1 2-on-1, and we came up empty. In the playoffs, you got to get at least 1 point out of all those. You should get more, but you should get at least 1 point. And we kept coming up empty on those. And those are the ones, when they get them, it's a 3 or a 2. When we were getting them, we came up with zeros. And those things couldn't happen. And then the rebounding really hurt us again. Right now, they are crushing us on the glass. Now, one reason, obviously, is you got to rotate to their shooters, and it allows their bigs to be free on the glass. But we have to do a better job.
Doc, Joe Morgan, Sporting News. It looked like Shea kind of got the message to be more aggressive.
Great.
Yeah. What did you think about him tonight, and how do you get him to keep doing that?
He just will. It was great. He was aggressive. He was attacking. That's what we needed him to do. They're playing off of him, and he, instead of just standing there, and being a spot up shooter, he actually decided to make plays tonight, and so that's what we like. We need him to keep doing that.
Coach, Chris with the Fantasy Sports Cave. How big was that play at the end of the half where Gallinari fouled Durant to make the three, and Durant knocked down the three to push the lead from 54 to 62 to 54?
It was a big play. I don't know if it was but it was a big play. We should have trapped. That's what we were trying to do. No one came. Gal probably should have been up a little bit more as well. But, you think about a great example, the end of that quarter. I think we have a 4-on-1. I think Pat pulls up for a 3. We get nothing out of it, and they come down and get a 4-point play. That's just the way the game goes, though, and can't get it back.
Doc, after game 3, you talked about counter-punching. Every time you get hit, you told your team you got to punch back. They did that.
Yeah, they did that.
Every time the Warriors went on a run, you guys came back.
Listen, overall, I don't like losing, period, in anything. And so, but my guess is we did make some mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But overall, I loved how we fought. I loved how we kept coming back, because you have to against them. I didn't think any of our guys were phased when one of their guys made a shot or made a great play. We went right back at them. I think that's how you have to play them. I thought we did that overall.
Coach, Blake Atwood with newsforusonline.com. What do you think it means for Jerome's progression as a player to have the impact he had in the minutes?
It's good. That was good for him. That whole group with Jerome out there, they were just moving the ball, playing well. He had a great defensive play where he got a steal. The one thing you like about Jerome is if he's open, he's going to shoot it. I know that sounds silly, but there's a lot of people who won't, and Jerome's not one of those. That's why we put him in tonight.
Mark Wicker, Orange County Register. You've coached against their defense for a long time. What's it like when they kind of tighten up the vise in the fourth quarter?
They're good. They're long. They're long, athletic. They're smart. They've been together forever. There's nothing you're going to run that they can't read. I think it's probably the most undervalued thing about their team. Their shooting is tremendous. But when they go with Iguodala and KD, which KG is, especially at this age, and Draymond, they're just so smart, long, athletic. But their defensive IQ, to me, is unbelievable. And Steve and Ron Adams are responsible and part of that. Mark Jackson's part of that. He started it. So, but that's what they do well. They kill you with their defense, and then they show you their offense.
Last couple right here.
Coach of TPJ of Hoops and Brews. Danilo and Lou Will combined for 7 for 30 today from the field. When they shoot that poorly, is there just no way that you guys can get over the hump? Or
well, there's a way, but it's hard. You can still win no matter who does what. I mean, it still was a 4-point, 6-point game. But clearly, if those two guys, and those are our two key offensive guys, struggle, then it's going to be hard, very, very hard for us to win against anyone, let alone Golden State.
Last question left.
Gary George, Inland Valley News. Coach, as far as a 3-1 deficit, what are your words of inspiration, outlook going back to Golden State?
Well, don't know yet, but the first thing I told him was before the game, mathematically, it was as close as the series possibly could be. It was 2-1, unless my math is off. After 3 games, 2-1, that makes it even. Y'all figure that out later. All right. But you know what I'm saying. I said, now we are down. And the only way we can come back is we have to win there. One thing I will say about our team is we will be ready. We'll show up. I can guarantee you that. This team has never not been that. And it would be nice to get back here. That's for sure. Thanks, guys.
Well, as Doc alluded to, it's going to be difficult to stop this team if you don't have everything going, and even if you do. KD will hit for more of the Warriors, a game away from moving on to the next round.